So, I'm going to show you something now, which use it as a cautionary tale of why you should be careful when you are in the woodland or, grassy areas in general, and why especially if you're not on the beaten trail, as to speak, why you should be extraordinarily careful about where you walk. And not only that, but why you should always pay extra special attention to your surroundings. Because whilst I was careful with where I walked, I wasn't really paying much attention to my surroundings. So I'm going to show you something now. Da 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 da. That right there is a bite. In fact, it's 2 puncture marks. This happened on Saturday evening. It is now Tuesday evening. I'm now on antibiotics. As you can see, it's still very much red, inflamed and swollen, and I've got a red track going up my arm, along with discoloration and bruising. So it turns out I can't turn the camera around. I don't know how to, so you're going to have to see this basically. So it turns out that the area I was setting the hammock in on Saturday night, sorry, there was a mouse nest close by. It was off the trail. In fact, where they'd been clearing the trail of trees and branches that were dangerous for people, they had put those trees and branches very close to where I set the hammock up. And a family of mice or rats, one of the two, had moved in to said trees and branches that were on the floor. I've proceeded to skirt around that because, they're good. I'm not on the floor. I'm in a hammock. I'll leave them to it. I've been mindful of snakes because, we do have adders. Didn't see any. I proceeded to duck to avoid. I needed to go for a pee, so to avoid strangling myself on the lines that I'd run out for the tarp and hammock, I was ducking. I clocked a holly bush. I was like, right, okay, I don't want to hit that. I'll avoid that. I've moved to the left-hand side, still crouched, and I felt like a prickly sensation on my arm, which I'm going to be honest made me jump, because my first thought was, crap, I've brushed my arm up against the holly bush or even some stingy nettles, because that's kind of what it felt like. And it made me jump because I thought I was far enough away from it to not hit it. But it wasn't enough to make me turn around and actually look. I was more focused on going for a pee and not strangling myself. So, anyway, woke up on Sunday morning at home, I'll add, because I was only at the woods for a couple of hours, to basically 2 lumps on my arm. They had blistered up. They were yellow and blistery, and they were oozing as well with yellowy liquid. A couple of hours later, they've basically developed into sores, open sores. I'm now treating it with antiseptic cream. I'm giving it wipes down and stuff like that. The redness and swelling is increasing. The pain is increasing as well, and going up my arm. Me being me, and it being Sunday, it's a case of, it'll be fine. I go to the pharmacy on Monday. So yesterday, after I finished somewhere, so that was about 7 to 5 in the evening, went to the pharmacy. Pharmacist reckoned, because I didn't see what it was that had caused it, but they ruled out it being that it wasn't a plant or weed that had caused it. they did say it's definitely 2 puncture wounds. You have been bit by what we don't know, and because you didn't see what bit you, basically we don't know what to do. But they brought up an image of a bat bite. Anyway, I ended up having to ring 111 because a bat bite is a big deal. That transpired where I ended up at A&E, bloody blah blah. I ended up leaving A&E something past 11 at night because at the end of the day, I'm a bloke, and yeah. But I did go to the doctors this morning as an emergency appointment because I'll be honest, my arm has been absolutely killing me. The redness has got worse, the swelling's got worse. I have a red mark that is basically going up my arm. It's very tender around here. Depending on how I move, it's sore. I mean, you can see the swelling. So the GP said, yes, you have definitely been bitten. Yes, there is definitely 2 puncture wounds. We're going to give you a series of jabs. So I've had my tetanus, which was also combined with 2 other jabs, which I've been given. So my other arm is now really sore. But they did say they don't think it's a bat bite because they're too far apart. No, it's not a bat bite. If you Google adder bite and you look at the wound caused by an adder bite, it would appear as though when I've been crouched down trying to not strangle myself whilst also trying to go for a pee, and I've thought, crap, I've just basically brushed my arm up against some holly, it wasn't holly. If I'd have actually stopped to have taken a look at what it was, I would have more than likely have seen a snake, an adder. Yes. What is on my arm? Ta-da! Huh. Is an adder bite. So I'm now on 5 days of antibiotics. I haven't had any anti-venom because, well, it's Tuesday evening now. I feel like crap. But I'm just going to see how things go. I'm not someone that suffers from anaphylactic shock or anything like that, so, or at least I haven't as of yet. So I'm basically going to see how this progresses. I'm going to keep the wound clean. But like I say, it's gone down a little bit to what it was, but the redness is still all the way up there. So yeah, cautionary tale. If you are in the woods or on unfamiliar territory, please pay attention to your surroundings a little bit better than what I have, because yeah, it's not great, it's not fun. Yeah. Anyway, cautionary tale over. I'll leave you get back to your day.